Okay, Alisha was the main central focus of this episode. And after watching this episode, I gotta say, she is my favorite female character. I mean, I like Edna and all that. I like her personality. But in terms of strong female characters, Alisha is a very, very good character. Especially for what she displayed in this episode. So let's dive straight into that. I love it how Alisha in this episode was so different from the normal main female character you see. Think about this, okay? Normally, either in a game, or even in an anime, or any literature, the main female character is usually, especially if it's a princess, quote, princess, usually the princess is a damsel in distress. That's how it turns out. When you have a princess character in either a game or any literature, that's how they turn out. But Alisha, the way she talked in this episode, her dialogue of how she's not just any normal princess, how she's been through so much because of this age of calamity, the way she carried herself, and the way she was able to defend herself without calling out for help, without others coming to save her and help her, she displayed something that truly surprised me and met my expectations and even surpassed it when it came to her as a character. I did not think her as a character would be that interesting. I mean, I honestly believe she was a cool character. I like her design and all that. I liked her fighting abilities and stuff we saw earlier on in the series. But she just seemed like a normal character, and she didn't stand out to me. I'm like, okay, she's okay. But the way she was able to stand up for herself, make that determination to stand up and die for what she believes in, to stop it from countries going to war with each other, and also stand up for herself and not die and call out for help, makes me happy. It makes me very happy to see a character like her, and now I know why a majority of this episode was focused on her, just because of that alone. Solid character, I have to say. But she's not one of the best characters I've ever seen of all time, but she is a pretty solid character after seeing what she displayed in this episode. So well done, Alisha, for doing a very good job with your personality and how you display yourself throughout this episode. Made you a very strong female character. Okay, so getting off of that, let's talk about one of the big central points besides Alisha. Let's talk about the shepherd, Saray, and what he is going through throughout this episode and what he has to do by himself, his lonely path. Okay, so we know shepherds, they can purify things. We know they purify Hellions and stuff. We saw it. It's been kind of displayed in last week's episode. And for the first time in the series, we see it to where Saray has to purify a human that was turned into a Hellion. And that was taken over by hatred and all these different dark emotions. And Saray, he tries to purify this man, and instantly all these emotions just start swelling inside him. You see it to where he's starting to see what's ever happened to this man, what type of pain and tragedy he felt. It's going directly into Saray, and he feels this. He feels all this hatred, this malice, everything. He just feels it. And you instantly have to think about this, like, if you felt someone else's pain, and you didn't expect it, you gotta imagine what that could do to a person. I mean, it's like this. Let's just say someone's been through a hell of a life. They've been through so much shit, and eventually finally broke them to the point. Like, let's use a good iconic character. Guts from Berserk, okay? Perfect example. Let's say Guts was turning into a Hellion, okay? And all of a sudden Saray had to pop it, which I highly doubt Saray would be able to purify the man. But let's say Saray had to, walk up, try to purify this man. Instantly, if he was to slash Guts to try to purify him, imagine how much pain and suffering he would feel coursing through his body if he did that to Guts. That's just some form of perspective there. So, when thinking about it like that, you're like, holy shit, this man, every time he tries to purify someone, he's gonna feel their emotions, what they've been through, the hell and tragedy and the death that they've experienced, he's gonna feel that. And that can change a man. That can instantly change a man. If you constantly feel these dark emotions, no matter how pure you are, no matter how, that can change a man. That instantly could change a man if you deal with a lot of dark emotions constantly. It might change and warp your mind in some ways to where you never expected it to be. And I could see that happening to Saray, one of the big things that is a weakness to a shepherd when they try to purify human beings is because that could affect them and make them sick, make their entire perspective of the world change, and it could cause darkness. And so, because of this, I love how this episode showcases that purifying isn't that simple. It is not simple. It's actually a battle of the minds, in a way. It's like Saray having to overcome this tragedy with willpower, his own mind, and being able to continue to carry this on by himself, because nobody else can hold this weight. He's the only one that can carry that hatred that others feel that turned them into a Hellion inside of him and then purify it. He is the only one. Nobody else can do it. Mikleo can't do it. Lila can't do it. Edna can't do it. Nobody can do it. He is the only one that can absolutely get rid of that and erase it, but he has to be able to handle it. So going to a battlefield, like a war zone, that is a probably dark experience, because you gotta imagine this, okay? War is a very, very, very dark place to be in. Especially when you see people fighting, beating the shit out of each other, killing each other. Just bullets flying, anything. It's gonna be a very, very dark landscape, if you ever saw it. And so, going on to the battlefield, you have to imagine, if something as simple as two people getting into a fight, and then one of them turns into a Hellion because of it, can cause what happened to Saray in this episode, imagine what a battlefield can do. How many people are going to become corrupted, have hatred flowing in them, and then turn into Hellions? Like I said, I want to express this once again. If two people having a simple fight over something rather just stupid turns out something like that, just imagine what could happen on the battlefield, and what type of pain Saray is going to feel. So, I can see now why they were trying to edge Saray away from the battlefield, why they didn't want him to go there, because he probably can't take it, because there would be so much hatred just seeping into the ground that it would be horrible for him to even walk into that area. So, I do like how this episode gets more world building, and showcases how a shepherd is alone. He is lonely. He has to carry this by himself. People can try to comfort him and all that, but they can never really feel the pain that he feels when he tries to save others. So I do like this episode of Tales of Zestiria, the way it displayed this. Very good stuff. Very good character development and characterization for Saray, and what type of path he's going to have to go down after this point. So episode overall, it was a good episode. Yeah, I mean, it was a very good episode. It had a lot of stuff here. I mean, we found out about the assassin rose and all that. It is not confirmed that the merchant was the assassin, and then we also get to see where they're going to be working together with, you know, Alisha, the princess. So, I mean, overall, the episode had a lot of answers to our questions, also brought up more questions, but also had a very good twist and turn with its darker path that it brought up in this episode. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.